Today I wanted to show you how to make a sublimation mug. Hey everybody, my name is C. I am the owner of CLM Custom Design on Etsy, and my channel is all things crafting. So welcome back if you've been here before, and welcome if you're new. Come on in and take a seat and let's get ready to learn something. What you need is a mug, but not just any old mug. You can't just go on out to the dollar store or anywhere and just purchase any kind of mug. You have to make sure it is a sublimation mug, which means the coating on this mug is made of polyester, because you can only sublimate on polyester. So you can get it from Amazon. In this case I got it from JP Plastic, but you need to make sure that when you purchase it, you look in the description and it says for sublimation. I also recommend that before you buy any type of blanks, whether it be sublimation or anything, read the reviews, because some materials are better than others. So see what people have to say who've already purchased them and used them. But again, this is a sublimation mug that I got from JP Plus. In order to make a sublimation mug, I am going to need to print out the design, which I'm going to use Silhouette Studio to do. So let me turn you around so you can see my computer screen. I have Silhouette Studio already opened up. And so what I am going to do now, let me zoom in a little bit so you can see. I am going to go into the library, Silhouette Studio. I am into my user design. Again, this program comes with some already built-in designs if you click under project designs, but I'm just going to go under user designs, which means designs that I have created. And since this is a mug that I have done before, all I need to do, because I save all my projects, is to go back and find it and print it out. And so here it is. I'm going to double click on that, and that is going to open up on my Mac in just a second. Okay, so it has opened up the design, and I know it looks all kinds of crazy. Sometimes with a Silhouette Studio, it takes a while for the software to kind of catch up to what you're doing, but I promise you it won't print that way. And I don't have time to fool around with it, since I know that it's gonna print right anyway, which I will show you in the next step. But the reason why you see so many on the page is because when I made this design, I made it in different sizes for different things. So some are the sizes of mugs, some are the sizes of coasters, some magnets. But I know that for my mug, I use 3.5 by 3.5. So it's this one. I'm just going to pull all the other ones off of the mat, because everything on the mat will print. So I'll just pull these off of the mat. I don't want to delete them because I want them to still be saved on my project when I'm finished. So here you go. Now, typically, if I'm going in to print sublimation, because the sheets of paper are like 11 by 17 or 13 by 19, I try to fill up the whole entire paper with something so that I can completely use the paper. But sometimes I can't, so I will cut off the extra if it's a large enough sheet and just save that for when I'm doing one design like today. So I am going to hit print, and then you'll see the actual image come up. My computer is just really acting crazy today. So there you go. There is the image. And also, this is good to look at because it'll kind of show you where you're going to be printing at on the paper, because you don't want something outside of the line, because then it's not going to print. So I'm going to go in my settings, and I'm going to choose the paper that I'm using. I am using 11 by 17. Actually, I'm not. I'm using a piece of an 11 by 17, but I'm kind of just tricking my printer to realize. So that's the space that I'm dealing with, and that's where I'm going to print at. And because I'm not using a full sheet, I have to be careful where I place it at so that it actually prints on the sheet that I'm using, and I'll show you that once I print it out. Now, when you do sublimation, you also have to make sure that you print in reverse or mirror your object. But I already have all that set up in my settings, so I don't have to think about it. You can each and every time make sure that you click mirror, but I don't want to do that. So I just have set my settings to know every time I use this particular printer, it's going to be printing in reverse. So I am now going to hit print. I want to choose the printer, which is my Epson ET 15000 series, which I got from Staples, and I converted into a sublimation printer. And I'm going to hit print and send it to the printer. Zoom out so you can see this paper that I used, because I had this left over from another project I printed. So I just turned it this way and printed. But you can see how you have to really be careful where you position it, because a little bit further over and it would have been off the paper. But I don't like the waste, so I'm always going to, you know, figure out how to use my scraps. Set this down to size. Interesting thing that you have to be careful of when you are using sublimation. You have to make sure that you don't have any lint, any fingerprints, or anything like that, because for whatever reason, sublimation will pick up lint and it will show itself in little black lines, little blue lines. So you have to make sure the cup is clean. So I have a microfiber towel that I use that I just got from the dollar store, and I will clean this cup very, very carefully, because it's nothing worse than getting a whole design and ruining it because you have one little streak of a black mark or a blue mark on there. And I will give you some examples of what I'm talking about in just a second. But I'm cleaning this cup, and then after I clean it, I will only touch the handle. I have my mug press heating up over there. That's what you hear beeping. I have it set to 385 degrees for 190 seconds. What I'm going to do is to tape this design on my cup using my heat resistant tape. You've probably seen this before. As I told you, one of my friends made this for me. It's just something to steady my cups so they don't roll when I'm trying to place designs on them, like in this case. So I am going to make sure I have this design in the right place, make sure that everything is on the cup, top and bottom. I'm not missing anything. One thing you have to be careful about too is not getting too close to the handle, because once you put it in the press, it will be, you don't get a good seal the closer you get to the handle. So you have to be very, very careful when you're dealing with that. Make sure I take down all the seams, because the thing with sublimation is not to get any air underneath the design. That's the key. You want a good seal with the paper to the blank or whatever material that you're using. And you don't really want any air gaps, so you just want to make sure it's nice and tight. I'm going to bring you over to my mug press. There you go. Now, one thing you want to do before you get started is kind of check to make sure, put the cup in, check your pressure, make sure you have enough space. I've already done all of that, so I know that I am good to go. And then all you need to do is slide this in here. You want to close it. And then the countdown begins. The time is up. The mug is out. It is time to reveal. I have my heat safe gloves on because it is hot. So we are going to take this off and we are going to see what we got. And when I tell you it's hot, it's hot. When you are doing sublimation, it does have a slight smell, but it's not like overpowering. You will probably see some smoke, but that is normal as well. And voila, Here it is. It is still very hot to the touch, but it says, do what you love. It's got my girl with her fro sitting at her desk, being the boss that she is. It is ready to go in its box and get shipped off, but it is too hot right now. I'm going to put it to the side. I'm going to let it cool off, and then I can come back and box it up. I wanted to show you an example of what I was talking about with how lint and things can turn into black lines. This is a hoodie that I did, but it works. It's the same concept on anything when you're doing sublimation that's polyester. So as you can see, it came out great, but right at the top, you will see that black line, and that's because there was some lint or something that I did not get off, and as a result, it showed up black. So the entire hoodie is kind of ruined. Just make really, really sure that you clean whatever blank you're using. In the case of a shirt, you should use a lint roller. In the case of a mug, you need to have a Microsoft towel. So just pay very, very good attention to that. Okay guys, let's recap what we did today. We made a sublimation mug. What does that require? It requires a mug, polyester coating on it so that it can receive the ink. We needed a sublimation printer, which I use my Epson 15,000, which I told you I actually converted. You can go and buy printers that are already made for sublimation, but I converted a regular printer into a sublimation printer. I'll go into that in another video, but you do need that. You need your sublimation paper, which I showed you, and you just need your design. Print it out, tape it up, take it to the mug press. You obviously need the press. But I will have everything listed in the details below. Thanks so much for watching. Please share, like, comment, and most importantly, I need you to subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. Just hit that button. The notification bell is important as well. That way you don't miss any of my content that drops every Monday. Until we meet again, please be safe. Talk to you guys later.